Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Hardcore Heroes. We do want to discuss one quick thing. Nick pointed out to me, that I misunderstood and misused sleep earlier. It's already happened, so we're just going to keep that as it played out. But I was under the impression that sleep was an AoE targeting the lowest hit die creatures first, but it is actually targeted and should have hit specifically the what are these things? Were rat. Thank you. I couldn't remember the name. Instead of AoEing all the lower hit die creatures first. So my apologies and my mistake, but these mistakes happen and we move on because
on the bright side, we killed all the sleeping rats because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
All right. So you guys are in this village, Ratburg.
All right, Van.
Oh yeah, let me finish memorizing spells. I started before the break, but haven't finished.
Okay. Is there anything you can get that can give sort of magical enchantment to attacks?
No, that's under combat. Okay. I don't get access to combat.
Do you have plant?
I do have plant.
Shillelagh.
Shillelagh? I thought that was a combat.
Oh, it might be combat. I just kind of figured it was plant.
I'll double check.
Shillelagh is a good one. I think it is too.
It's on the next.
Oh,
yeah,
it
combat
might be...
and plant.
Yeah, Shillelagh is combat.
It's in both, though. It's in plant as well.
It is in plant, so I can use it. So wait, what does Shillelagh do? Is it technically a magic weapon?
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be like a club or something, or like a stick.
Yeah.
Stick.
Would it be possible for Croak to shoot sheaf arrows from his short bow?
No.
Yes, I can shoot sheaf arrows. Yes.
Not from a short bow, only from long bows.
You sure about that?
Yes. Oh, but Shillelagh does require an oak cudgel or an unshod staff. Okay.
We could always get one of those. We're near
Yeah.
trees, I assume.
Sure. Yes.
There's the material components are a shamrock leaf and the holy symbol.
But we do not use material components. Oh, if you read the actual spell itself, it says...
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, cudgel. Okay. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I could always just give you my stuff.
Your shaft is shod.
So it needs to be an unshot. So just like a big branch, essentially.
Yeah.
What the hell does shod mean?
It's like having a cap at one end of it.
Huh,
So I could just go like grab a big tree branch that's reasonably straight and use that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I need to find the spell.
What am I looking for? Oh, right. Bows.
That's a magical weapon.
You know, there's another spell called... Oh, it's a combat one. That's good, though. Magical Stone.
Right. So longbow has ranges for flight and sheaf arrows, while short bows only have one range for flight. I think somewhere else it says something specifically about sheaf arrows and longbows.
So I have 3 silver arrowheads. Would it be possible to like refit some of his flight arrows to make them work with the silver?
Probably takes too much time.
You would need a Bower or Fletcher, and they can do that for you. There's probably a Fletcher in town.
There's one in the village.
I think it's more important to go after and get her before she like leaves town.
I want an estimate of how long it'll take.
6 hours.
We could have been doing it, though.
Yeah, he can do it on his own. You just have to leave him a few arrows and arrowheads, and you can just come back and get it. We're just switching out the heads, right?
Yeah, just the heads.
If you're just switching out the heads, it doesn't take very long at all. It'll take him maybe 15 or 20 minutes.
I give him 3 arrowheads. I take I ask Croak for 3 of his flight arrows and just say, put silver arrowheads on these.
Maybe we should do
I'll
more
give
than
them
3.
to you, but I think it's going to take you way too long to like.
He said 15 to 20 minutes.
Really? Okay.
Well, yeah, you're untying an arrowhead, pulling it off, putting another on, and tying it on.
In the time where he's doing that, I'm going to memorize spells.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's the shaping of the arrows that take a long time to make.
More than 3, maybe. No.
You had 3 arrowheads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could just take the heads off your arrows and put them on his arrows.
Oh, but hold on, Van Helsing, you had sheaf arrowheads made, right?
Oh, is there a difference?
Yeah, they're bigger and heavier. I guess you could use a sheaf arrow. I don't know why you can't use sheaf arrows with short bows. Maybe they're just long and cumbersome, and the head is a little bit awkward because they're bigger.
I think it's got to
Could
be
he
the
fire
length
with,
of
like,
the
a
arrow
penalty?
that the string doesn't pull back far enough.
Could he fire with the penalty?
I always interpreted the lack of a second set of ranges to just mean that short bows shoot the same regardless, because it's already the lower range.
That
But
might explain.
I
it.
don't see anything that specifically says you can. So
But
that's
does it say you can't?
no?
I feel like
Not that I saw. There, it does have a brief description of longbow arrows of each type, flight and sheath, in the longbow description,
Mhm.
but it doesn't say. But I mean, I don't know. I don't understand why you couldn't have short bow arrows of long and sheath either.
Yeah, but it specifically says arrows for longbows of all types are divided between lightweight flight arrows and heavier sheaf arrows.
Right, but like,
Flight arrows have longer ranges and sheaf. Yeah,
why
that's true.
doesn't that also apply for short bows? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. We're good.
This is something I'll think on. It is an ambiguity.
But
So
can
you guys, oh yeah, what were you doing, Malachi?
can we make some silvered arrows for him to use, or not? Because you've got the sling. If all else fails, you know.
Yeah, I'll just say it does d6 damage. It just does normal. You can attach the sheaf arrowheads to the flight arrows, and it'll just do flight arrow damage because it comes from
Okay.
a pull.
That
Yeah.
seems good.
Yeah.
Okay, and then while he's
Dude.
doing that, I'll memorize.
So wait. So how many do you do, Van? Just 3.
Just
I
three.
think,
I
you
have
should,
3
I
arrowheads.
think you should do more than 3. Then you should replace the arrowheads and put them on.
I don't
Croak's
have that many. I only have 10 in total.
Yeah, but you've got a combat weapon.
Okay, I tell Malachi to go get me a staff then. Like, just go find a big stick that I can turn into a shillelagh. And I grab 2 of my sheaf arrows, rip the arrowheads off, and give him those arrowheads to put on other arrows.
Yeah,
So I'll have 5 arrows. Should be
I'll
fine.
go and take the current 5-man watch with me
Sure.
to go and find a stick.
All right. We can actually just kind of skip ahead in time here a little
Yeah.
bit. You guys spend the day doing these things and looking about, and search high and search low. You find no sign of Aaron.
Well, there was one thing I wanted to do.
Hmm.
I have some magic for that.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
you
gonna use
do.
detect evil.
Yeah.
Okay.
But first, I just need to find the last spell I want to memorize for 2nd level. You know what? We'll just go with this.
Oh yeah.
I got my last one.
But search high and search low using detect evil.
There's nothing.
There's no sign of her, and there's no sign of any living rats anywhere.
I'll go ahead.
There's a 120-yard cone in every direction. Yeah.
That is more than enough to cover the entire town, the village. The village is quite small.
So she
we
left
don't
town.
pick her up somewhere outside of town.
Mm-mm.
I look down to see if she's underground.
No. There's no detection of her anywhere to be found.
Oh, Croak, you're at 4 HP, right?
I am.
Oh yeah, you healed him.
Oh, you're at 5 because I healed you for. No, you're 4. I healed you for 3.
Healed him
I
for
was
3.
at 4.
You're now at 6,
Oh my god.
Nice.
and now you're at.
Jesus. That's so bad.
All right, interesting.
Well, it looks like she's gone.
Can we open up the tunnel? Like that she went under? Like how big is it?
It's pretty small. You could spend some time excavating it with some people.
I just want to know where it goes.
I think it's just.
Can we put like running water down it? Do we have enough water? Like can we put smoke? Smoke will come out, right? Can we just burn a bunch of like ash and like smoke, pour smoke into this hole and see where it comes out and maybe like figure out outside of town where it ends up?
It's going to be impossible to find this thing if it's escaped in the night.
I have tried smoke bombs on gopher holes before. They don't really work well.
They don't.
All right.
No.
I feel like she. Okay, so I say to the group, when we fought her, she mentioned that she had to run away. She had to relocate to this town. It's why she's a newcomer. It's very likely she ran away again.
Yeah.
Find a new place to live.
Oh, we could spend our.
Yes, finding her then, Van.
What?
How would you suggest finding her? We need to rid the the countryside of this menace, right? In order
I
to...
don't believe we can. I think we should go back to town, tell them what we learned, and tell them the next time there's giant rats, they should know that they're not just dealing with giant rats, they're dealing with were-rats.
I agree with Van. At least for now, the town is safe. It will take her a long time to amass an army such as she had before.
Yes, we did kill over 30 rats.
Get the scout.
Okay, that works for me. I like Redport a whole lot better than I like this little peasant town. So let's do it.
So I go back to the temple.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
and
I kind of sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I'll tell the priest essentially our plan that she probably relocated and moved to a new town.
yeah,
The town
Sorry,
breathes a collective sigh of relief and go about their work.
sure. All right, dismiss the town, and then I guess we head back to Redport.
Yeah. Before we leave, I tell them that if they start seeing giant rats in significant numbers again, to immediately send for Redport again, and to announce that it's likely the work of a were-rat.
Sure.
You know, before we leave, I want to go and check Aaron's house.
Yep, it's pretty empty. There's not a lot going on in here.
Is there anything at all that looks like an item of hers?
Yes, you find a hairbrush.
Okay, now I'll take that. Is there any hairs on it?
Yes.
I take them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Malachi the creepy.
Yeah.
Malachi, the diviner.
I'm going to speak to my friend in town, the elf.
All right.
Anything else? No?
That might belong to her.
Yeah.
There's some other items of clothing. They're pretty raggedy.
Nothing that looks like, I can't think of the right word, but like an emotional tie to her. Something that she might want to get back.
No, just a bunch of ratty items.
Ratty items.
One thing to note about, I was reading chat, somebody mentioned we never buried Scooby.
Yeah, I saw that. He's there now. He's dead on the floor.
Yeah, we should probably bury him.
Kind of rotting.
No, I don't. Leave him. He died as he lived. In battle.
In battle.
So, I want to say to someone of the villagers on my way out, the name of this town, where did it come from?
Ratberg?
I mean, just given the events of the last day or so, it seems rather coincidental.
Coincidental, or she heard a place called Ratberg and decided that was a good place to hole up. I can rightly tell you, we're changing the name.
I think it's for the best. Don't
Gotta-
suppose there's a Ratville next door, or you know.
No. We're the only one. We're the only one by this name around here. You got a good name for us, maybe?
No Ratberg?
Houndsbane.
Houndsbane. What about Ratbane?
That works.
Ratbane or Rat Hell or
Scoobyville?
I feel like Rat Hell could be hell run by rats.
That's true. That's true. What about
Scoobyville.
Scoobyville? That's a stupid name. What about
That's as stupid as Ratberg.
I think it once upon a time was called Rathburg, and then the H got dropped or something, or the sound got dropped and became Ratburg.
Maybe go back to that then.
There's a big sign on like the church that has the name of the town, but the H fell off. So
Maybe go back to Rathberg.
Maybe we'll go back to Rathburg. That sounds good. That's a real good idea. Should have thought it out myself, actually. All right.
Well, see you around.
Toodles.
Glad to have helped.
They wave you off, and you guys head back into the hills on your way back to Redport.
And I hope Croak survives with his 7 HP after 4 healing spells.
Oh, 7 HP. Poor Craig.
Yeah. All right. It is a fairly uneventful journey back to Redport. You don't run into anything. You see a couple of travelers on the road, but they keep to themselves and don't even really acknowledge your existence.
I ask them if they've seen any big rats.
You get a quick shake of your head and people move on. One of the carts has some younger ladies in it that whistle at Van Helsing as you guys walk by, but that's about it.
I wink
How
at them
attractive are
like,
they?
ladies.
How
Oh.
attractive are they? Oh no.
How attractive are they? One that is a standard deviation below average attractiveness, and a pair, actually, of standard
Alright.
deviations below.
They
Normal
whistle at me, and Bandit's
attractiveness.
kind of like over his shoulder, does the like wave over his shoulder as he goes by.
Yes. Ooh, Catberg. That might have been better.
Oh,
It's not bad.
that would be a good one.
No, you want to work hard next. It's even worse.
Why did you name this place Catberg? That's ridiculous. Oh, well, you should have heard about the rat problem.
And they get Dogberg and get Were-Dogs.
Oh, God.
It's just a terrible spiral.
All right. Eventually, you guys make it back to Redport in the evening. Actually, you had probably spent a full day searching for rats and would have spent another night there.
I feel like the detect evil was kind of the thing that made me think she's not here anymore, and I would have cast
Yeah.
that pretty early.
Yeah, I think we would have left as soon as that didn't work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Because it lasts a few minutes, I would have run around the town trying to find.
You wouldn't even need to. You could just stand in the middle and do a circle.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but I feel I would have had a few minutes, so just to be safe, I would have run around a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
Not seen her and thought, okay, she's gone.
Anyway, you guys get back to Redport by the end of the day. Actually, a little bit after dark, because it's a long trek there. You make it back to lovely, happy Redport.
Is the town crier out at this time, or do I have to wait until tomorrow?
You're gonna have to wait till tomorrow morning. Everyone's asleep by now.
All right.
You make your way back to your tavern, to your inn.
Yeah, and I pull out my spell book and start studying.
Okay. Now, how are we dealing with inn prices and stuff? We were doing monthly,
monthly
right?
expenses, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so this is all still within the month of February. We haven't moved on. Right.
Are we just gonna be doing stuff over the whole 2 months, or are we gonna fast forward? At some
Oh,
So am I
woo!
gonna owe you 250 gold?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
So it's 50 GP per level for monthly expenses,
Okay.
basically. Because that includes, food, drinks, maybe this little bit thing here, this little thing that there. It's a lifestyle choice. If you would like to lead a poorer lifestyle, you can lead poorer lifestyles and pay significantly less. But if you want like a middle class lifestyle, it's 50 GP per level.
point? Why does it go up as you level?
I think you just end up having extra expenses as you level, and
Because it's based on the old, like, set up your castle, raise an army notion of Dungeons and Dragons, where you'd adventure and then you'd switch over to your wargaming. Like, it's a holdover from Gygax.
Yeah, it's probably just a bit of old.
Well, it's a good thing Croak is loaded then,
Well, I pay the
because I can't afford this month's rent.
We're
Well,
not
you
paying it
still
yet.
have like 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
That's
Yeah.
true. So I guess we should probably just adventure the entire time here.
Sure. Or if you guys
Yeah.
want to live a poor or squalid lifestyle,
So should
You
I
can
stop
just-
paying for things?
no, just like not for drinks and inns.
So, like,
What?
should I start asking you if I should buy things or not? Because I've been going, every time I bought something, I've been marking off gold and silver and copper and based on the player's handbook.
Yeah, I think for most things, like if you're buying rope, you pay for your rope. That's not a lifestyle expense or living expense. I think we're talking in anything that is kind of like just necessary to keep
I
on
feel
going.
like 250 gold is a lot for living it in.
It
you know?
is. It really
200,
is.
250. 50. Right?
50 per level, but he's level
But
5.
I'm level 5,
Oh,
so
shit,
I'm
yeah.
250 gold here, right? But
But then-
basically, 250 gold a month, I feel like I should be living like a king.
Yeah, that's really expensive.
Yeah, Neil, it's too much that.
It is. It is.
And
It
it's
should
not
just be.
like
I could get behind
it's
50
not like
gold.
I'm working and having a stipend that's paying some of that off, right? Like,
hmm
I don't know.
I think 50 gold
yeah,
per
I
month
feel like a
makes
50
sense.
flat makes sense, but
Yeah.
It does, but so this is where we come into some issues because we decided that we were going to play by the book, no optional rules, what it says.
Yeah.
And some of these rules don't make sense, which is why we don't typically play with them.
Yeah.
So if we are going to go ahead and house rule one thing, then we're slippery sloping
That's
ourselves
fair.
into house ruling many things.
I
and
mean, I guess,
That's fine, but we should make a conscious decision as a group how we want to approach the core rulebook only, because clearly the core rulebook doesn't always
Well,
work.
look,
Well,
we've
here's
already
what I
made
want.
some exceptions, right? There's already certain material components for spells we're going to have to need. Like, I can't cast Identify without a pearl.
Yeah, but I think that's more because the pearl is described in the actual text of the spell rather than as a material component. You know, like
Is it
rather-
though? And also, encumbrance. We're still using that, and that's a. I mean,
That's
to
true.
not have that, stupid.
because there is no optional, like there is no non-optional encumbrance rule. It doesn't exist.
Mhm.
It would just be like you can carry as much as you want without any, like you can carry infinite pounds.
I'm,
Yeah,
I'm
the
totally
only,
exactly.
okay with leaving it as it is. I'm gonna have to be successful stealing here to pay for everybody. I'm gonna have to knock over a few jewelry shops, which is fine. I have plans to do so.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna end up having to fence off a lot of gems and replace them, and keep doing that each month.
right.
Do you like? Yeah. Do you just
If we're spending 16 weeks here, it's gonna literally end up costing like 2,000 gold.
Yeah. The only reason I'm concerned is because it's like a month's expense is 150 gold coins for me, but I feel like as a group we make significantly less than what would pay those like expenses.
Right. So we
I
could
can pay all of your expenses, right? I have the money,
we
but I just need to continue making that money, right? So we need to set up time for, I guess, Croak to roleplay like stealing all of the money.
Yeah, but
Because
it doesn't make
important
sense
for us
that
to win, right?
like,
Like
Croak
that's
is a very
important for us
successful thief.
paying our taxes.
everyone would have to make as much money as Croak.
No, because I can make so much more money than you guys can.
I just mean in general,
if
people in the world would have to
three
make
or
loads of
four
money.
gems, right? Like I'll pay for all of you.
well
Right.
hold on. We should make this decision together as a group. But we can say we're going to start altering the rules where they fail to make sense, which is legitimate. And now that what is this, like week 7 or 8?
This is
8, I
eight.
think.
8. We've been at this for a while. We've given the rules as written a pretty good shot, and I think it's an acceptable time to start slowly bringing in house rules.
Yeah, I would agree.
All right.
All right, because it goes from like 1 GP a month, 5 silver a month for poor, 5 GP a month for no, squalid is 5 SP, poor is 5 GP. I think if we want to just say 50 GP a month for living expenses for middle class, that's fine.
Yeah,
That'd be fine.
that's
Okay.
still a lot. It's still a
but,
lot,
I mean, it's.
That makes sense, though. I mean,
but it's reasonable. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
a trained craftsman makes what, 1 gold a day?
Something like that. So that's 1.6 gold per day. Food per day is like 6 silver, and in per day is like 5 silver. So you're already most of the way to 50 GP just in and food. Any
Yeah,
other little
which is-
expenses that come along
And
would be.
like extraneous expenses get lumped in.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm happy with that, and that's good.
Okay. Cool. So that's the way it is now.
All right.
I'm cool with house ruling as long as we like discuss it as a group before we incorporate anything.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how it should be done. So you're back in Redport at your inn. Everyone's hanging out in the common room. Well, a few people are hanging out in the common room. Not much is going on.
So how long has it been, Neil, since we started the session?
You guys started on the 10th. Today, this night is the 14th. You're about to head into the 15th.
Okay, so one, I want to start learning Flaming Spear.
All right. What are your chance to learn to 75%?
Yep.
And it's a 2nd level spell?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Marked whether you have it or not.
All right. Good. And if it's daytime, I'm going to go and head over to what's his shop? Sithledon's magic store.
Sure. Is there anything else you guys want to do that night, or we just skip to the next day?
I'll take a look around for my contact in the alleyway.
Your contact is not in the alleyway.
Then I take a look and I come back.
Okay, cool. Let's just skip to the next day. Today is the 15th. You guys
Okay.
wake up, you're well rested, you can memorize your spells or do whatever. The
Yeah,
bustling
I'm gonna-
port city is active.
Let's see if I can actually heal Croak for something significant. I take 2 more healing spells from the ones that I cast. Yeah, you're back.
Yay! Thank you, Van.
That's as much healing as he got in the previous 2 days.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Van just needed to be closer to town. The poor people were bringing him down.
That's what it does. They weren't eating enough cake.
Okay, so in Bustling City, I'm going to check out the alleyway again. If he's not there, I'm going to go to the infant mortality, is that what the yeah?
Yeah, sure enough, you go into infant mortality, and you see your guy. He's got his feet up on a table, and is talking with another person.
I walk over and put my feet up on the table next to both of them and order a drink. Like I yell, like, whiskey.
They continue to chat for another 15 or 20 minutes, and then the guy leaves and comes over and sits down next to you.
Oh no, I sat down at their table.
Oh, at their. I thought you meant the table next to them. At,
No.
at their table.
At their table, put my feet up, order a whiskey, listen to what they have to say.
Okay, cool. So he turns to you and goes, "Ah, well, how did it go?"
Oh, went well. You gonna introduce me to your friend here? I'm Croak the First. Pleasure to meet you. And I pull my feet back, lean in, handshake.
The guy shakes your hand. Croak the First. Is there a second?
Not yet, but well, at least not one I know about.
Right. Okay. Nice to meet you, Croak the First.
Tell me, what's your name,
Jacob.
son? Jacob. It's always a pleasure. You interested in our goods? I look at my other friend.
He gives you a bit of an elbow in the side and says, "Jacob, Croak and I have some business to discuss. I hate to interrupt our chatting here. Would you mind coming back in half an hour?" Jacob gives a bit of a nod and heads out on his own.
Lovely meeting you, Jacob. I'm sure we'll meet again.
He turns to you and shakes his head and says, "That was unprofessional."
I know, sir, but yeah, I figured you weren't doing me any favors trying to keep me in the dark, so I figured I'd learn what I can about your friends. Now, I got your goods. I'll be happy to hand them over to you. I want one piece of information in return. Your contact there, I've seen him before. I want to know where he is hiding out at, where his locale normally is, and I want to know his name. I need to meet this gentleman.
Why? And what is your relationship with him?
Oh, well, you see, your merchandise that he acquired down in Anvil, well, I'm the one that gave it to him.
Oh, you're the supplier.
I have my hands in many pies. Unfortunately, Anvil will not be producing any more of these. Had some trouble with a cleric.
I see.
So I moved up here. The previous supplier, Mr. Reggie, was unsuited for the job. I saw to it that he took his punishment for getting caught. And I made sure this delivery happened now, both over the mountain and to you yourself. So I'd like to know that man's name. We have some unfinished business to discuss. And yes, consider your test well and truly passed. And I'll pull out of my backpack a little sack and hand it to him.
All right. He just sets it underneath the table. His name is Christy.
Christy.
Yes.
Excellent.
His friends call him Chris.
Chris. I shall take note of that on my handy-dandy character sheet that you can't see, sir. Now, I need to know where he usually stays. He's dressed in fineries. I took him for a noble first time I saw him.
He is.
Whereabout?
Well, I suppose if Anvil has fallen apart, then I have no need for him. He lives in Hillsborough.
Hillsborough.
That's an actual town near me.
Yeah, it's a town.
Hillsborough.
It's yes, Hillsborough.
All right.
Actually, quite famous in Liverpool, a place called, it was a football ground, Hillsborough.
Oh.
And like 20, 30 years ago, there was like a stampede of people trying to escape, and like 25, 30 people got like
I've
killed.
heard about that.
Yeah, and like the newspapers tried to blame the fans of the Liverpool team, and like that's like a really big deal in the city.
Ooh.
Pretty cool.
Well,
Yes. He's a noble of minor repute. scraping the bottom of the barrel, as they would call it. But it still lets us get around, helps us cross bridges that otherwise wouldn't be crossable, if you understand me.
Oh, I understand very well. I understand the need for people of clean rap sheets and sparkling public images. Now,
Mhm. So this business you have with him, it doesn't happen to lead to his demise, does it?
I sure hope not. I hate to lose assets.
Well, I would hate to hear of anything happening to him.
I promise you that the ball is entirely in that man's court. If he is willing to hear me out as a reasonable gentleman like yourself will, then he will have no issues with me and we'll continue doing business. But if he has a stick up his butt, if you will, we may have to have a problem.
All right, fair enough. Well, you should go now. I have plenty of business to attend, and I would appreciate it if you acted a little more professionally in the future. I can't have employees who are disruptive to business.
I'm a freelancer, son, but all right. I'll keep that in under advisement, if you will. And I shoot my whiskey when it comes over, and I'll walk out of the bar actually this time.
Okay. All right, you exit. Rest of the party.
I talk to the town crier when the morning comes.
Sure.
I tell him we killed over 30 rats, all the rats in the village. They were actually headed by a were-rat who ran off.
Dear God.
Next time you hear complaints of a giant rat, assume it's the same were-rat causing trouble.
It's beautiful.
How'd you drive it off?
It almost killed 2 of our party members, but I thought to buy silver arrows before we left. It ran off.
Well,
I kind of show him the silver from my quiver.
he gives you a look up and down and goes, "You're an exceptional class of mercenaries, then. We may have some more things coming up that are more up your alley than, these day-to-day tasks. The lack of authority in Redport, lack of soldiers in Redport has opened up certain gaps in power. And while there are few monsters ranging in the Windsong Hills these days, there are other things that can be dangerous."
I
That was
understand.
way too loud.
We'll have to wait until another time. I wouldn't agree to any job without my party here to the company.
No, we have no such tasks at hand now. Maybe next week.
Very well.
I have numerous.
We reside here in this inn. I'll inform you if we ever intend to move to another one.
Okay.
Until then, feel free to approach me if you have any work.
You guys part ways.
Oh, and the 50 gold.
Oh yes, he gives you 50 GP.
All right, I have plans.
You have plans.
Yep. All right, is there like a main market area square?
Yes.
Is there? This is a big trading town, so there's people selling all manner of things, right?
Yes, down by the docks is where most of the trading goes, and then there's like a actual town square for this town in and of itself.
Okay, I want to make a guess as to where people selling the most valuable stuff are likely to be, especially like rare one-off things.
Those seem to be the nice large shops that border the docks.
Okay,
Yes.
so I'm gonna go there.
Mm-hmm.
And is the magic, the wizard shop and the cleric shop, are they here?
They are just inside that area. They're near the
Alright.
docks, but a little bit away.
So I want to cast detect magic, and I just want to scan these shops,
These shops right down by the front.
find if one's maybe got a magical item.
Ooh. Detect magic. A stone wall of 1 foot or more thickness, solid metal of 1 inch, or a yard more of solid wood blocks the spell.
Yep. I'm guessing that the stone walls aren't a foot thick.
No.
Yeah.
No, you can definitely scan the shops.
So if there's multiple magic items, I'll pick the one that's got the most powerful radiation.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go into that shop and identify the source of the item.
All right, just give me a moment here to think about these things.
Okay. Yep.
You definitely spot some magic.
Mm-hmm.
You have two sources of magic. One has one shop has two dimly magical items, faint magical items. No, yeah, dim. Dim is the weakest. It goes dim, faint, moderate, strong, overwhelming. These are one place has two dim magical items.
Mm-hmm.
The other has I have to a faint item, 4 moderate items. Hold on, I need to make notes while I'm doing this. I was not prepared for this.
Yeah. Sorry.
So, no, this is beautiful.
All right.
Yeah.
This is beautiful.
I was half expecting the other source of magic is the fireball flying at your face.
Scout like that.
So what did I say? One
faint, 4 moderate.
One faint, 4 moderate. It has what is it? What would that be? 1 strong and that's it. So a faint, a moderate, 1 faint, 4 moderate, and 1 strong.
Okay, so that shop with all of the items in it, that's not the wizard shop.
That is not the wizard's shop.
So I'll go.
The wizard
there,
shop is out of range, by the way.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not bothered. I just want to make. So I want to go in there.
Mm-hmm.
I want to. First thing I want to do, bear in mind the duration of the spell, is identify the source of the strong magic, if it's within. If I can see it.
Yeah. The shop with the 5 magic items, right?
6.
6.
1 faint, 4 moderate.
Yeah, sorry.
1
The
strong.
6 is called Boren's Emporium.
Okay. Oh shit. All right. Yeah. I'll go in.
All right. You hop.
Actually, wait. Maybe this isn't the guy to do this to. All right. I go in the other shop.
All
I
right.
check when I go to the other place.
You go into the other shop. The other shop is. It seems to be specializing in paper-related products, which is a little bit odd, but in this place of all places, not just paper, but paper, parchment, papyrus, inks, quills. It seems to be a place for those sorts of things. They've got bookbinding going on. They've got all sorts of anything related to paper or books or writing in general. Lots of those things.
Okay. So I go in. I try and identify the source of the 2 faint. Dim.
Oh, right, because the magic stays for 2 rounds per level. Yeah. So you walk in and you can immediately identify the source of magic as 2 candles that are sitting on these little things that stick out from the back of the back wall. So you've got this open area in front that has a few shelves with some small kind of useless things, really samples on them. There's a bodyguard next to the door on the inside of the door with a chainmail on and a steel axe at his side. And then there's a counter, and behind the counter is a halfling sitting on a stool, and behind him there's a back door that leads into the rest of the shop behind it, presumably, and on either side of that door is a candle on a little shelf that sticks out from the wall.
Are they lit?
They are lit.
This isn't really what I had in mind. Okay, so I just, I'm looking around.
The halfling kind of pipes up after a few moments and goes, "Why, hello there!
Ah, greetings.
Can I get you something? You're looking for a book? Some paper? Some writing utensils? Some punts? However you humans say it. We got all sorts of supplies. Red ink, blue ink, waxes, things to help you seal your wax. We can even make you your own custom seal here if you'd like. You could be as fancy as Baron Redwing himself." Although we
well,
can't make Baron Redwing seal, that would be a crime. Don't ask.
No. It's an interesting offer. I'm just checking out what's available. The last few places I've been haven't had such a wide array of writing materials.
Well, why don't you tell me what you're looking for, and I'll help you find it.
I'm not looking for anything in particular. I'm a wizard, you see, so it's important for me to have access to writing materials when and if I need them.
Well, you'd be happy to know that I have consulted with many wizards in my day, and I have found the proper way to, how do you say this, prepare your spell book. I think that's the right phrasing there. We can properly treat your pages with fire retardants and special pages that will dry that much faster so you don't smear your ink, ruin your whole page.
That's interesting. How much would you charge for these kind of protections?
Well, just the standard price for such a thing. It really depends on the size of the spell book that you want. We really come in two sizes. We got the smaller traveling sizes that are 50 GP, and we have the larger tomes that you usually hang around home with. Considerably more heavy because they have more pages. But they're both about the same price per page.
Well, I'm a man of fine tastes, and I have an eye for things of the strange and weird. And I have to say, I've noticed your candles there by the door.
He gives you a wry smile as you say that. Yes.
Tell me, what is it they do?
Well, they never burn out, and you can snap your fingers to light them.
That's very interesting. Would you be willing to part ways with one of them?
Oh, God, no. Do you know how useful those are? In a paper shop? Being able to have candlelight whenever you need?
It does sound very useful.
I can imagine why you might want one yourself, but sadly they are not for sale.
Okay, well, maybe not a sale, but how about a trade?
I'm listening.
I only require one. I have an amulet here of great magical power. It increases the speed and dexterity of anyone who wears it. Would you be interested in perhaps trading for this?
Now, I don't have much use for something like that. Why would you be willing to trade that for a candle?
Well, like you said, I don't have much use for it either. I do a lot more writing than I do running. Here, let me show you. And I take out my gold medallion off my neck.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I say, look, here, you can see the way it catches the light. It's you can see there's something really magical about it. And I wave it and I start mumbling the hypnotism spell.
You clever bastard. Oh, there goes another die. I've dropped like 10 of them today.
So that's an automatic one.
I thought it was an automatic max. Remember?
No, only for initiative.
Oh, okay. On the D20s, it's a 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He watches the thing move back and forth in front of him for a few minutes. Let me take a look at the spell.
Malachi gets caught, executed. He survives the session with like 1 or 2 health. Gets arrested for trying to hypnotize a shopkeep.
Hey, I'm just trying to make a trade.
Hard to argue with that logic.
Yep.
All right. What is the suggestion you give him after the hypnotism or the request?
That we trade the medallion for the candle.
He looks at it and goes, that is a... Even though I don't have use for this, I think I might be able to upsell you. Deal! And he grabs your hand really quickly and shakes it. We've shaken on it. That makes it law.
All right, well, you got me.
He goes over and blows out one of the candles and brings it over to you, sets it down before you.
Click my fingers.
It...
Click them again, pick them up and say, well,
You click them again, and it doesn't blow out.
Oh, okay, I blow it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be back. I'm going to be needing some papers and some work doing for my spell book. So I'll see you again soon. What was
course.
your name?
Banks.
Banks.
Banks is the name.
Great. Well,
Quick note. It'll only turn on if you were the last person to touch it. See, and he snaps his fingers a bunch, and it doesn't turn on.
that's great.
Last person who touches it, the one that can activate it.
Well, I hope if you don't find use for the amulet, maybe you can find someone to buy it from you. I'd do the same, but I just don't have time to deal in trades.
Oh, it's all right. Rex, we're closing down shop for the day. I'm gonna head over to Slithidins and talk to him about this little wonderful piece of work here. Come on. He ushers you out the door quickly and has Rex, chain and lock the door behind him.
Yep.
And they
right.
proceed to head out off to Slithidins.
All right. Well, I head back to the inn.
All right. Are there any other actions we'd like to take? Because we're about to wrap up here.
Yeah.
I'm good. I got paid. I give Croak and Malachi 16 gold each for the payment.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you.
So that is this week's episode of Hardcore Heroes. Congratulations on surviving. It was a nail biter for a few moments there.
Oh
That was
boy,
fucking
was it.
close. Yeah.
I was convinced
Wow.
Croak was going to die at the end there. When she passed her saving throw against Sanctuary, I was just like, oh, Croak's dead.
Yeah.
That's
I
my
cannot
thought too.
believe that you survived.
Well, I can't believe that Malachi survived.
Yes.
You
2
have
rounds.
not a lot of HP.
And
Or armor.
Sorry.
I was hoping you would run back to me because I was going to cast Bark Skin on you. But that was before you took like all the damage and nearly died.
Yeah.
It was close. Well, I never thought that I'd survive 4 attacks. I have to say.
I didn't think you'd
Only
survive.
2 of them hit you, though, right?
Well, yeah, I never
Yeah.
thought I'd survive 2 hits. Especially, what damage did it do?
Longsword
Like,
does D8. So would she roll like a
Yeah.
4 and a 3?
I think she did a 2 on one of them.
Okay, so
Yeah, she did 2. 4 and a 2, yeah.
yeah, 4 and a 2. Whew. All right, let's do some experience. Where did I put my books around here? Group experience first. So you guys defeated a were-rat.
Yes.
270 experience for that. I'm gonna just add these all up and then divide and figure it out.
How many rats did we kill, though? We killed a lot of giant rats.
We did kill a lot of giant rats.
Something like 30. I think 30 is actually probably no, because you poisoned them, right? And there was all that big stack. Right.
Yeah.
Um,
And then we killed. How many were under the floorboards that we fried up?
6.
Okay, so we killed 11 rats in combat, and then the 30 that we poisoned. 31.
So I think we killed 14 in combat and 30
Okay.
poisoned.
so total is 50 rats dead.
Okay.
Good
But
job.
they're only worth 15 experience each. So
Yeah.
They're not. Yeah, I guess they weren't. Yeah, they are giant rats. Okay.
It's
15
still
each.
over 500 XP.
Yeah. 750 to be precise.
And let's see. You completed the quest to the best of your ability. You didn't finish off the were-rat, so we'll knock off a bit there. Croak successfully murdered someone with poison. I don't know if you get any experience for that, though. I don't think so.
I'm almost certain he was a lycanthrope. Or
Uh,
like a bit.
well, he survived.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She
Shoot,
died.
does it kill him when he's human form?
Look, that's more work for us in the future.
Let's see. What else do we have going on here? Group experience. I think that's pretty much it in terms of group experience. for
Yeah, I think
today.
so. I think I've got quite a bit
Did
of
we do
XP
the quest
going my way,
experience?
though.
Yeah, threw in some quest experiences. So divided by 3 people, that's 507 experience each. If you have your
Okay.
prime requisites, add another 10%. Individual awards. Player has a clever idea. Croak, knock down 100 for your oil on the hinges. Let's see. Who initially came up with the poison idea?
I think that was
That's me.
Croak.
Yeah.
Mark down another 100 experience for the poison.
Do I get one for preemptively buying all the silver stuff?
Absolutely. I'm going to say that's an idea that saves the party. So why don't you mark down like 400 experience because that was
Wow.
critical.
That was really
Yeah.
important.
That's why she ran away, I assume.
Yes. She can't normally take damage, and you guys almost killed her. I mean, she still had 7 HP left.
Oh
One
man,
good
you need
arrow.
to hit a little harder with your
Yeah.
arrows.
Yeah.
Like one
Yeah.
good arrow would have finished her. So
Yeah. Player has a clever idea. Player has an idea that saves the party. I have a hard time remembering everything that everyone does. I feel like we're missing something there. Oh, who locked everyone in the temple?
that was my idea to
Man.
barricade everyone.
Mhm.
Van. Why don't you mark 50 for that? Player role plays his character well. You guys are always on point with your role playing. Like, it's always spot on. So everyone mark 150 for that. I just encourages another player to participate, defeats a creature in single combat. Warriors, priests for successful use of granted power. No, spells cast to
Sanctuary.
overcome problems.
Sanctuary.
Sanctuary and detect evil.
Which are both first level, so 100 experience.
100
total.
experience. No experience for the heals. I think those were all out of combat.
Mhm.
Wizards.
Okay, I
You
think
learned
I've got
two.
quite a bit right.
You
I
learned
learned
one
alarm.
spell, right?
Alarm and irritation.
Right.
And Stinking
So,
Cloud. So 2 second level spells and 1 first level spell.
well, you learned alarm and irritation. Oh, and stinking cloud. You
Yeah.
learned all 3.
Yep.
Right. So that would be 250 experience. No, I'm sorry. 500 experience for learning spells, and then
Nice.
you cast stinking cloud once.
I cast Stinking Cloud twice. I cast Magic Missile once.
Right.
I cast Sleep. I cast Hypnotism. I cast Detect Magic.
Okay, sleep failed improperly. But I'll give you experience for it because it should have worked. So sleep, stinking clouds. That's 250. Hypnotism is another 50.
Detect Magic.
Another 50. So that brings us to 350.
2 Stinging Clouds are 100 each, right?
Right.
200, and the Magic Missile, that's 250. Sleep, that's another 50. That's
Magic Missile.
300. Hypnotism, and so it's 400, I think.
400. Yeah.
Okay.
Rogue, perfect successful use of a special ability. Would you do no? Oh, you pinched someone's butt. 200 experiences for pinching someone's butt.
Dude,
No,
just go in the tavern.
no experience for that. No
Yeah,
experience
come
for
on.
that.
I was gonna say, like, just pinch every barmaid's butt every time we enter a tavern, and you'll be loaded with experience.
No. Gold piece of value, treasure obtained, none. Croak, you get the least experience today, for the first time ever.
Do I
Because
get
we
any
had
experience for,
a like
he doesn't get the
combat
16.
like an entire like episode.
Yeah.
Does he get the 16 from the payment?
No, that's
No.
payment, not treasure.
What about stealing the candle, Neil? Do I get anything for acquiring a magic item?
Magic items are enough of a reward.
Okay. Wow, I've got so many things that light up that provide. Well, just light, really. There you go.
Malachi the Illuminated.
Oh, nice. I like it.
Right. So
Alright.
that about settles us for this week of Hardcore Heroes. We are off for the next 2 weeks because it is tax season, and
Yeah.
and we all have taxes to do. And by us, I really mean Greg.
Just me. Yeah. Just
I
lots
did
and
levels,
lots of
so-
Greg doing other people's
No,
work.
Nice.
Really fast.
Ooh. Oh yeah, let's take care of your level. Would you roll me a D8, please?
Yeah. So I'm at, for people following along, I'm at 7,211 experience now. So I'm well within level 4.
How much?
I leveled at 5,000, or no, sorry, 6,000.
You've only got 7,200.
Yep, 7,200.
I've got 9,000.
I think it's because of all the Siren XP you got.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's see. So just D8 plus 1 for my HP.
You've got
And with
15 con.
Yep,
Okay.
or I think so. Yep, 15 con plus 1 HP. So I'm probably going to roll 2 with how I've been rolling today. Oh,
Nice.
I'm happy with that.
So that brings you
God.
to 22 HP,
Yep.
That is a lot of HP, man.
and it brings you to 18 Thaco.
Yes.
Nice.
And I
Holy
also get
shit.
extra spells.
That was a
I
good
get
level
one
up for
extra
you.
first and second level spell.
Yeah.
That was Good level up.
Yeah, this is a really good one. And then 5 is great too because I get 3rd level.
Yep. Each
Wow.
level's better than the last.
Wow, that's a good level up.
Next time you tank the were-rat.
Yeah.
Okay, to be fair, we didn't really have time to prep.
No.
Right.
Well,
Oh wait,
thanks,
does
Neil.
Croak get experience for noticing that she was a were-rat? Or like he was super suspicious of her.
Yeah, but I didn't act on it.
That's true.
I
What?
was worried if I stabbed her in the back in the middle of town, Van might have an issue. And I thought that, like, if I didn't have a silver broadsword, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
And that seems to be confirmed because I poisoned the kid in his human form and he didn't die. So I don't think there's anything Croak could have done about it.
Did the kid eat as much poison as the mum? Do we know that? Croak, you mean you would have been
I
watching?
mean, I said I crushed 2 or 3 berries on it, so like,
I divided it equally amongst them, and they both made saving throws versus poison, and he passed and she failed.
Yeah, okay. So he's not necessarily aware of it.
No.
I'm almost certain he is.
Well, thanks, Neil. That was another good session.
Yes, I felt like there was one more thing, but I forgot it
Oh.
already.
Reddit? I threw up a Reddit post, so
Oh.
talk to us about the
Nice.
episode. Tell us what you think about it. We love to hear it and discuss it with the fans.
That's not what I was gonna say, but that's a very good point.
Are we not doing that one shot that Neil and I were talking about while Greg's out?
We'll
Yeah, we
let's talk about that off screen.
Okay.
All
I
right.
felt like there was one other thing that was important that I wanted to give out, but I can't remember it right now. It can't have been that important then.
No.
All right, that's it, everybody. Take care. We'll see you in 3 weeks. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.